Behind our modern world, everything from the fuel in our cars to the medicines we take, there are these incredible companies building the massive, complex infrastructure that we almost never get to see. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain. So let's just think about that for a second. What does it really take to construct the backbone of our heavy industries? The answer, well, it involves a scale and a complexity that are honestly pretty hard to wrap your head around. For a start, it takes just raw power and some serious engineering know-how. I'm talking about raising these colossal steel skeletons right from the ground up, the very frameworks that are going to house entire industrial processes. But it's not just about brute force, right? It also takes this extraordinary, delicate skill, lifting and slotting multi-ton pieces of critical machinery into place with surgical precision, sometimes hundreds of feet up in the air. And maybe most importantly, it takes a team of incredibly focused people coordinating every single move, because in this line of work, there is absolutely zero room for error. So, this huge challenge? This is the world of Limbhore Engineering Contractors, or LECPL for short. They're a company that has spent decades becoming a serious player in this incredibly demanding field. And look, their story is not an overnight success thing. Not at all. It's a journey that goes back nearly 4 decades, building this deep well of experience, one massive project at a time. And this right here, this is where it all kicked off. Way back in 1985, deep in the heart of the Konkan chemical belt, the company got its start as Limbhore Engineering Contractors. Okay, so this timeline really lays out their journey for us. They started as Limbhore Engineering back in '85, and then spent the next 2 decades just methodically growing, expanding their skills across the Konkan region. Then you get to 2017, that was a huge moment when they officially incorporated as Limbhore Engineering, or LECPL. All that history brings us to today with almost 4 decades of specialized, hard-earned expertise under their belt. So what does a company like this actually do day to day? Let's break down the core services that make up what I like to call their engineering arsenal. Think of their expertise as being built on 4 major pillars that cover the whole life cycle of an industrial plant. It all starts from the ground up with civil engineering. Then it moves to the massive steel structures with fabrication and erection. They can also scale up and manage an entire project from A to Z with turnkey services. And finally, they make sure it all keeps running smoothly with annual maintenance. Now, when we say civil engineering, you've got to understand we're not talking about your typical office building. This is a completely different league. We're talking about creating massive, vibration-resistant foundations for machinery that weighs tons and specialized concrete structures built to handle intensely corrosive chemical environments. Next up is fabrication. And honestly, this is where it's part science, part pure art. Back in their workshops, teams of skilled welders and engineers are building critical equipment, things like pressure vessels and industrial boilers, from scratch. They're making sure every single connection meets these insanely high standards before it ever gets erected on site. And then you have the whole shebang, turnkey projects. The best way to think about this is the master chef analogy. It's just perfect. LECPL doesn't just come in and follow a plan. They can handle everything, from the initial design and buying all the parts to the final installation and firing it all up. That gives the client one single point of contact for the entire complex job. Okay, so all of that capability is great, but how does it translate into actual success? In the world of heavy industry, your reputation isn't just about what you say you can do, it's about what you've actually done. It's built on the projects you've delivered and the clients who bet their own multi-million-dollar investments on your work. And man, this client portfolio, it really speaks for itself. They're trusted by huge players in the chemical and pharmaceutical industries, companies like the SI Group, Sudarshan Chemicals, and Ion Exchange. This isn't just a list of names, it's a massive vote of confidence. It's proof of their reliability. Now check this out. This is the number that really jumps off the page. A 146% revenue growth in a single year. That kind of explosive growth doesn't just happen by accident. It tells you there's a huge surge in demand for what they do, and that they have a proven ability to deliver on these major projects. And you just don't get that kind of growth without some serious firepower, and I mean that literally. It starts with their huge 3,000 square meter workshops where all the fabrication happens. But the real game changer is the equipment they own and can deploy. We're talking a whole fleet of mobile and tower cranes for the heavy lifting, specialized trucks to move massive components, and even their own concrete batching plants and testing labs right on site. Owning all this gear gives them incredible control over schedules and quality because they're not waiting around for anyone else. But, the assets and the clients, that's only part of the story. What truly defines a company like this, what makes them tick, are the principles that guide every single decision they make every single day. Their official vision statement really says it all. Their goal is to be the preferred contractor. And how do they do that? By being the leader in 3 specific things: technical skill, safety, and delivering on time. It's a crystal clear mission. And this is what I love to see, that vision in action. It's one thing to have it written down on paper, but it's another thing entirely to live it. From daily safety briefings and hands-on training drills to these meticulous coordination meetings on site, these principles are woven right into the fabric of how they operate. So here's the bottom line, the most crucial point of all. Everything we've just talked about, the giant structures, the complex machinery, the incredible growth, is all built on this one bedrock principle: a zero-incident culture. In the high-stakes world of industrial construction, that is not a corporate buzzword. It's a necessity for survival. Safety isn't just a priority. It is the absolute, non-negotiable foundation that protects their people, their clients' assets, and their entire reputation. The story of Limbhore Engineering is really a window into a world that's powerful, precise, and, for most of us, completely invisible. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden giants are out there, quietly building the backbone of the world we'll live in tomorrow?